Okay, so I got fit, or at least I think I did. I'm doing the Manchester 10K, I'm in the hybrid games, I'm trying to do a high rocks, I am lifting, I am running, I am training every single day. But did I actually get fit, or did I just look like I got fit? A decade of poor diet, of litres of Red Bull, poor sleep, drinking, pizzas, all that sort of stuff. Did I fix everything by getting fit, or have I just hidden those internal problems? Now the Red Bull especially, the years and years of just hammering and abusing that Red Bull, I have to feel like it's done some damage. There is a history of both heart disease and diabetes in my family, so I have to admit that is a little bit of a concern. I really need to know what's going on internally. It's easy enough to look better, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're healthy. So that's why I partnered with Memorial Hospital in Istanbul, and that's why I'm here this week. They do full body checkups, complete human MOTs, the full footballer medical. If there's anything wrong with me, we're gonna find out this week. They do scans of literally everything: brain, heart, lungs, colon, blood, hormones. It's incredibly comprehensive. They offer 3 levels of testing. They have essential, they have advanced, and they have premium. And premium's the one that I'm doing. It takes 3 days, and they are literally going to do everything. And after I've done all the tests, I'm going to sit down with the doctor, and they're going to explain to me what all of these results mean, if there's any changes I need to make to my diet, to my exercise regime, or if there's any treatment that I have to start because they found something a little bit nasty in there.
It won't take it 2020. You will stop eating. You will not eat anything, okay? You will start drinking until 2 or 1 a.m. Okay?
In the morning.
Exactly. After that, you will stop drinking at all until you come here to do the procedure. Okay. So as I told you, we want to start with 6 tablets from this one at 6 p.m. 1 tablet from this one. And after 1 hour, we want to start with the first bottle. The first bottle, okay, you will start taking it. You can mix it with anything like apple juice, or doesn't matter what you want, because that is not tasty. And it's not. It's not.
So we just drink it. Yeah.
Okay, this is the first one. The second one after 2 hours, and the third one after 2 hours. The same concept.
Contact lens or anything?
No, I don't.
You don't?
I do have blurred vision in my right eye though.
Okay. Hiçbir şey kullanmadınız. Okay. Put your come closer, please. Open your eyes, please. Come in room, check you out 5 minutes later again, okay?
Look up, please. Down, please. Everything is okay. Healthy eye, but after 10 years old, it's very hard to fix it.
Not even make it a little bit better, no laser.
Maybe if you close your eyes at that time, maybe it's improved 60%. But when you left the patching, it's go back. You understand?
Okay, got my results. Let's go and have a look. Okay, so I have got the results. I've just been sitting there with the doctor and we've gone through the various different parts. Now, there was a few things that were flagged up, and the first thing, and probably the thing that's quite scary at first, is in your heart, or certainly in my heart as well. So I have something called left ventricular hypertrophy, and that sounds quite scary. It sounds quite heavy, and technically it is. What it means is the muscle wall on the left-hand side of my heart has thickened. That's the part that pumps blood around the body. Not exactly ideal, but because I'm quite fit, quite healthy, and I have quite a low resting heart rate, technically it's a trained heart. It is a sign of adaptation. In my case, it's basically adapted like a muscle does to the workload that I've put it under. But there is a twist. Now, if I get unfit again, if I get unhealthy again, if I get back up to 290 pound again, and I'm carrying a load of visceral fat around my organs, that wouldn't be adaptation, and that could be a real big warning sign, and that could be risk of heart failure, risk of a stroke, risk of a cardiac event. So that's certainly not a good thing. It's something to be aware of. While I'm fit, while I'm strong, it's not a drama, but if I ever lapse again and end up as supersized Steve, that might be a bit more of a drama as we go forward. The second thing that was at least a little bit concerning was the brain. And you're like, did they not find one or something? No, they did. There was one in there. Now, I've had a few knocks. I've done combat sports. Obviously, I've served in the army, played rugby, general chaos. And I've always kind of wondered what the damage to my head actually is. And I have moments of forgetfulness and stuff like that. I think that's quite common. But they scanned the brain. There's no tumours, no lesions, but there was evidence of concussions and TBI or traumatic brain injury in there, which can be a little bit of a worry. The doctor in there then was reviewing the scans, and she kind of cocked her head to one side looking at the brain scan. And I said, I've had quite a few concussions. And she smiled and went, I can tell. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a thing, I guess. Ultimately, it's not overly dangerous, but I guess it is a marker, and it's a sort of a permanent kind of scarring of the life that I have led. In terms of my lungs, I've lived around diesel engines my entire life, working on airfields, some hot, dusty environments. All the weight that I carried for years. Did the lungs take a hit? A CT scan showed no scarrings, no lesions, no long-term inflammation. All clean result. Now, colonoscopy and endoscopy. This was the one that I did not want to do. Was it because of the procedure? Yeah, it was, let's be honest with ourselves, but also because of what they might find. The colon is a bit of a killer in blokes, especially when you get over 40. That's something that you do have to go and get checked out, and probably because people don't want to go through the procedure to get checked out, it's one of those that ends up seeing off a lot of blokes. The prep wasn't fun. I ain't going to tell you it was fun, because it was not fun. The medication that I had to have, which cleans you out, and use your imagination for that one, it cleaned me out. I was in for a rough 24 hours. Well, we sorted that one out. I had a nurse that had to give me an enema. The whole preparation was not a super fun time. It really wasn't. And I don't want to do that again. But for the actual procedure itself, they put me to sleep. So I had the medication, I went to sleep, I woke up, job's a good one. Now, what did they find? Was there any dramas? No. No cancer, no inflammation, no polyps, all good. So I guess, ultimately, as not fun as the prep was, we got a good result in the end. Now, there's a PSA, which is a prostate marker. That's quite important when you're on TRT, because testosterone can affect prostate growth. And even though I feel great on TRT, you are at risk of doing this sort of thing. Now, it came back high to normal, which is not elevated enough to worry about, but it was flagged as something that needs to be watched. Nothing immediately needs to change, but it is something that I am going to have to check regularly. It's part of being responsible while taking TRT. Bloods, yeah, there was a bit of a worry in terms of blood. Thinking about the Red Bull for years, your insulin resistance, your blood sugar, the kidney function, diabetes in the family, all that sort of stuff, the things that can kill you slowly. I was obese for a long old time. That makes you insulin resistant, inflamed, sluggish, but all of that stuff came back clear, no signs of inflammation, kidney function was totally clear, and all that came back good. The only other thing that got flagged really was vitamin D. And my cholesterol. So vitamin D was low, no surprise there. Weather's been awful in the UK, don't get enough sunlight, so that's an easy fix. A little bit more vitamin D supplementation and we're sorted. And then cholesterol. The good cholesterol was a bit low and the bad cholesterol was a bit high. That's a kind of known risk factor and a known side effect of taking TRT. So that was it really, that's the results. Most of it was good. Couple of little bits, things to supplement. The cholesterol, needs to take more omega-3s. The vitamin D, literally supplement vitamin D. It was good, but not bulletproof. My liver's under a little bit of strain. That's from the working out, that's from the taking of the TRT. But nothing's failing, so quite sharp. Really glad that I did this. I think knowledge is power. I do regularly get my blood work done anyway as a course of doing my TRT. But the other stuff, it was just about getting a bit of peace of mind. Knowing what's going on in your body, I think that's always a bonus. Get your mind right, get your body right, and then you can enjoy your life and you can move on. You can have 99 problems until your health fails, then you've only got one, and it's the only thing that matters. If you're on TRT, if you're lifting, if you're losing weight, if you're worried about your lifestyle in the past, do a checkup. Get the numbers and know where you stand. If you're interested in coming out here to Istanbul, to Memorial, as you've seen, the facilities are absolutely world class. Each appointment flies by, you're not sitting there waiting for hours. You can get it all done in a few days, and that information is powerful, I think. There's obviously a big thing about people going to Turkey for cosmetic surgery, and that's all I've had this week. Everyone, am I getting my hair done, am I getting my teeth done? But Memorial's a real hospital doing real medical work and to a real high level as well. As I said at the start, they do 3 levels of checkup, like I've just had here. Essential is just a 1 day, and that's mostly just blood work and a couple of scans, all the way up to the premium package that I've had, which takes 3 days. And like I said, you get a doctor that goes through all of this at the end of it with you and tells you where you stand and what things maybe need to be changed or added to your lifestyle. There's a link in the description if you want to know more, or ask me a question, because I'm sure we're going to be talking about this on the next podcast with Janine. But I found this really, really useful and definitely worthwhile in terms of coming. So I'm glad that I've come and checked this out. See you in the next one.